A 3-year-old girl from Pennsylvania was being treated for a long-term sickness, disappeared from her hospital bed in the middle of the night. The hospital staff was confused and her parents were heartbroken. 2 years of looking led to only sadness and questions about how a sick child could just disappear. Then, workers deep in the sewer found something that had washed down the storm drains. It was a discovery that would uncover the darkest secret anyone could think of. Nathan Hartley looked at the sheet of numbers on his laptop, the numbers mixing together as he tried to focus on the budget report. The house felt too quiet this Tuesday morning, the kind of quiet that had filled every corner since Meera disappeared 2 years ago. He took another drink of his cold coffee and made himself focus on the data. The loud ring of his cell phone made him jump, and coffee spilled close to the keyboard. The number wasn't one he knew, a local one, but not one he recognized. He thought about letting it go to voicemail. Most unexpected calls these days were from salespeople or nice people who wanted to say they were sorry about Meera, years too late. But something made him answer. Nathan Hartley. Mr. Hartley, this is Detective Patricia Walsh with the Pittsburgh Police. The woman's voice was professional, but had a feeling that made him nervous. I need to talk to you about your daughter's case. The laptop was forgotten. Nathan's hand squeezed the phone until his knuckles were white. In 2 years, the calls about Meera had stopped. The case was cold. The police had moved on to new sad stories. What about it? Sir, I think it would be best if we talked in person. Can you come to the station? We have new information that you need to know right away. Just tell me. His voice was rougher than he meant. Did you find her? Detective Walsh paused. This morning, a crew working in the sewer near the river made a discovery. They found things we believe belonged to your daughter. The room felt like it was spinning. Nathan held the desk with his free hand. What things? A wheelchair, mister? Hartley, a child's wheelchair with an oxygen tank still on it. The serial numbers match the equipment in your daughter's hospital records. Nathan closed his eyes and was suddenly back in that hospital room 2 years ago. He had woken up at 5:30. That morning, like always, Nicole had worked a long shift and was sleeping deeply next to him. He had showered quietly, dressed in the dark, and driven to the children's hospital to spend an hour with Meera before his meetings. The elevator ride to the kids' floor was normal. A key had nodded to the night nurse, who was reading a magazine, and looked tired. Down the hall to room 314, the one with the butterfly stickers Meera wanted on the door. He had pushed it open, already smiling, ready to see his daughter's face light up. The bed was empty. Not just empty, but left behind. The sheets were pulled back, her toy elephant on the floor. The machines that should have been checking her oxygen and heart rate were dark, their wires hanging down. Her wheelchair, the blue one she put superhero stickers on, was gone. For a moment, he just stood there, his mind not understanding what he was seeing. Maybe they'd taken her for tests. Maybe she was in the bathroom. Maybe. But the noise in the hallway grew. Security. And staff showed up, and they frantically checked other rooms. All of it proved what the empty bed was telling him. Meera was gone. Mr. Hartley, Detective Walsh's voice brought him back. Are you still there? The wheelchair, he managed to say. You're sure it's hers? The serial numbers match, and there are personal changes that match what you reported. The superhero stickers. Sir, I need you to understand the wheelchair was found in a part of the sewer that connects to storm drains. Our crime team is looking at it now. Nathan's mind raced. The sewers. Why would Meera's wheelchair be there? How long has it been there? That's what's strange. Detective Walsh's voice became more careful. The crew boss has worked in these tunnels for 15 years. He says, based on how it looks and the dirt patterns, the wheelchair couldn't have been there more than a few weeks, maybe a couple of months. It looks like it washed in during the big rains last month. but she disappeared 2 years ago. Yes, sir. That's one of the things we need to talk about. The clues suggest the wheelchair was thrown away recently, dropped somewhere up the line, and carried by stormwater. The meaning hit Nathan like a punch. Someone had kept Meera's wheelchair for 2 years, then suddenly decided to get rid of it. "I need to call my wife," he said, already standing and looking for his keys. "We'll be there as soon as we can. Of course, ask for me at the front desk. And Mr. Hartley, I'm very sorry. I know this must be very hard." Nathan ended the call and dialed Nicole's number. She was probably sleeping after her night shift, but this couldn't wait. As the phone rang, he grabbed his jacket and went to the door, his mind full of questions. Why now? Why throw out the wheelchair after 2 years? And most important, what? Did this mean for Meera? Was his daughter still alive? Or was someone finally cleaning up their mess? Nicole answered on the 5th ring, her voice sleepy. "Nathan, what's wrong?" "They found Meera's wheelchair in the sewer. The police want us to come in." The silence on the other end lasted for a few seconds. Then Nicole's voice, now wide awake and sharp with both hope and fear. "I'll meet you." There, the police department's evidence room smelled of strong cleaner trying to cover up something worse. Nathan stood next to Nicole, holding her hand as Detective Walsh led them past shelves to a clear table. Under the bright lights, on a blue tarp, sat Meera's wheelchair. Nathan's breath caught. Even covered in sewer dirt, he knew it right away. The blue frame was dirty, but you could see some of the original color. The oxygen tank on the back was dirty but whole. And there, under a layer of dried mud, were the pieces of superhero stickers. "Oh God," Nicole whispered, her grip on his hand tightening. Detective Walsh stood on the other side of the table, her face neutral. "I know this is hard. Can you confirm this is your daughter's wheelchair?" Nathan nodded, unable to speak. He reached for it, then stopped and looked at the detective for permission. "You can touch it," she said. "We've already checked it for clues." His fingers found a Batman sticker, partly scraped off, but still there. Meera had put it there herself, wanting to decorate her chariot, as she called it. The work crew found. It stuck about 2 miles into the tunnel system, Detective Walsh explained. "Based on the marks, our crime team thinks it washed in during the big storms last month. But here's what's important. Look at its overall condition." Nathan made himself. Look at it more like a scientist. Besides the sewer dirt, the frame had very little rust. The seat, though stained, wasn't rotted. The oxygen tank's valve looked dirty, but mostly fine. "It hasn't been in water for 2 years, Nicole said, saying what they were all thinking. She was using her nurse's voice, calm and detached. "Exactly." Detective Walsh pulled out a tablet showing them pictures from the sewer. "If this had been in the system since she disappeared, we'd see a lot of breakdown. The metal would be very rusted. The fabric would be gone. Instead, we're looking at equipment that was stored somewhere dry for a long time, then recently thrown out." "Someone kept it," Nathan said. The words felt heavy. Someone kept her wheelchair for 2 years and then just threw it away. "That's our idea," Detective Walsh said. "The question is why now?" A knock on the door cut them off. An officer leaned. "In detective, the medical expert is here. Dr. Kellner, send him in." Walsh turned to Nathan and Nicole. "I called in a specialist to look at the equipment. Dr. Kellner was your daughter's lung doctor. He's agreed to help us." Nathan remembered Dr. Kellner, a quiet man who always explained Meera's treatment so they could understand. The door opened, and Dr. Kellner came in. He looked the same, in his mid-40s, with neat graying hair, wearing a suit instead of scrubs. His eyes went to the wheelchair, then to Nathan and Nicole. "Mr. and Mrs. Hartley," he said softly. "I'm so sorry." "When, detective?" Walsh called. "I came right away." "Thank you for coming," Nicole said. Dr. Kellner moved to the table, putting on gloves. He checked the oxygen tank, looking at the gauge and connections. This is definitely hospital equipment. He paused, running his fingers along the valve. The seal's been broken recently. Within the last few months, I'd say, if this had been sealed for 2 years, we'd see different rust marks. So, it was used. Detective Walsh asked, taking notes. Recently used. Yes, the pressure gauge shows it's nearly empty. That suggests it was used, not just stored. He looked up at Nathan and Nicole. I'm sorry. I know this raises more questions than it answers. Nathan stared at the wheelchair, his mind spinning. Someone had taken his daughter, kept her somewhere for 2 years, used her medical gear, and now they were getting rid of clues. What does this mean? Nicole asked Detective. Walsh, are you saying someone had her all this time? The detective's face was serious. We can't be sure yet, but the clues suggest. She paused, choosing her words. The pattern we're seeing is like someone getting rid of evidence. Often, bad people do this when they're about to move, or when the victim is no longer alive. Nathan finished. The words felt like glass in his throat. Detective Walsh nodded slowly. I'm sorry, but yes, that's one thing we have to consider. Nathan stood in the spare room they used for medical storage, looking at shelves of supplies they had gathered. Boxes of masks, tubing, and medicine. It had all been part of their daily life until that morning 2 years ago. He picked up a box of medicine and checked the dates. Most were still good, but some were about to expire. Holding on to them had been his way of keeping hope. But after this morning, that hope felt weaker. Nicole had gone back to bed, tired from her feelings. Nathan couldn't sleep. The image of the muddy wheelchair kept playing in his mind. He started sorting the supplies into 2 piles, expired and usable. He could donate the good, sealed items. It felt like giving up, but also like the right thing to do. By the afternoon, he had filled 3 boxes. The CVs on Grant Street had a donation program. He loaded the boxes into his car and drove. The pharmacy was busy. As he walked toward the back, he almost ran into someone with a cart full of medical supplies. Oh, sorry, Nathan started. Then he recognized the man. Dr. Kellner. The doctor looked up. His cart held several small oxygen tanks, the same kind they used for Meera. Mr. Hartley, I didn't expect to see you. I'm donating some of Meera's unused supplies, Nathan said. Dr. Kellner's face softened. That's very kind of you, Nathan. Glanced at the tanks in the doctor's cart. Stocking up for the hospital, Dr. Kellner explained. We've had some supply problems, and these are great for moving between departments. The donation centers help when our regular suppliers are short. I didn't know hospitals could buy from regular pharmacies. It's not ideal, but sometimes. We have too, Dr. Kellner said. He looked at Nathan with concern. How are you holding up? Nathan was grateful for his kindness. It's been hard. Not knowing is almost worse. I can only imagine, Dr. Kellner said. Meera was such a special little girl. I should get these back to the hospital, but please, if you need anything, don't hesitate to call. Nathan watched the doctor go, then went to the pharmacy counter. As he filled out the paperwork, he thought about the oxygen tanks. It made sense what the doctor said about supply problems. He drove home, feeling a little lighter. The house was quiet when he got back. He got a text from Nicole. Leaving for my shift in 20? Dinner's in the fridge. Love you. 20 minutes later, she came downstairs in her scrubs. You went out. She asked donated some of Meera's supplies to CVs. It's probably the right thing to do, she said, filling her travel mug. Oh, I ran into Dr. Kellner at the pharmacy. He was buying oxygen tanks for the hospital. She stopped pouring, frowning a little. That's odd. What is hospitals have strict buying rules? Everything goes through approved sellers. It's about safety and insurance. She shrugged. Maybe. They had an emergency. Though usually they'd send a junior staffer for something like that, not a senior doctor. Nathan thought back. Dr. Kellner had seemed normal, maybe a little rushed. He mentioned supply problems. Could be, she said, grabbing her bag and kissing him goodbye. After she left, the house felt too empty again. He couldn't focus on TV. His mind kept going back to the wheelchair and detective. Walsh's serious face. He found himself in his home office, looking at the file cabinet with all the papers from the investigation. He pulled out the file for staff, interviews, and spread them on his desk. He'd read them dozens of times. There it was, Dr. Kellner's interview. The doctor had left the hospital at 6 p.m. the evening before. Meera disappeared and didn't come back until 7 a.m. His keycard records proved it. He'd been home all night, but he lived alone, so no one could confirm. The detective's notes showed no suspicion. He was a respected doctor with a perfect record. Nathan opened his laptop. Something Nicole said bothered him. Why would a top doctor buy oxygen tanks at CVS? He typed Dr. Martin Kellner, UPMC, into Google. He found a LinkedIn profile showing his work history. UPMC for the last 3 years. Before that, a hospital in Cincinnati. Before that, Philadelphia. Before that, another hospital. 4 hospitals in 10 years. That seemed like a lot of moving for a specialist. He searched for Dr. Kellner and the Cincinnati hospital. He found a small news story from 5 years ago. Dr. Kellner's name was in a hey list of doctors whose permissions were changed. The wording was vague. He searched for Philadelphia. He found a medical board document. Dr. Kellner's permissions had been stopped for 6 months, for not following hospital paperwork rules. He kept digging. Another hospital, another strange departure. A pattern. My hospitals for problems. Never. Anything specific enough to lose his license, but enough to make him move. A cold feeling grew in Nathan's stomach. What if Dr. Kellner had a history of getting equipment the wrong way? He found Dr. Kellner's office number. It was after 6 p.m. He hesitated. What would he say? Hi, I see you've been in trouble at a lot of hospitals, and I'm wondering if you stole my daughter. But the image of those oxygen tanks wouldn't leave him. He dialed. The phone rang 4 times. Then a familiar voice answered. Dr. Kellner speaking. Dr. Kellner, it's Nathan Hartley. I'm sorry to call so late. Mr. Hartley, the doctor sounded surprised. Not at all. How can I help? Nathan's mouth went dry. I was going through Meera's files, the investigation files. Course, finding the wheelchair must have brought everything back. Your interview is in here, from 2 years ago. There was a pause. When Dr. Kellner spoke again, his voice had changed. Yes, I remember. The police were very thorough. You weren't working that night, the night she disappeared. No, I'd left at 6. My shift was over. The warmth was gone from his voice. Oh, Mr. Hartley, why are you asking this? Nathan pushed on. I've been looking at your work history. You've moved around a lot. The silence was so long, Nathan thought the call had dropped. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just trying to understand. Understand what? Dr. Kellner's voice was cold now. The police investigated. 2 years ago, I helped completely. You saying they missed something? Those oxygen tanks at the pharmacy are for the hospital. As I explained, each word was sharp. Mr. Hartley, I understand you're hurting. I understand you're desperate, but what are you accusing me of? I'm not accusing it. Sounds like you are. It sounds like you're questioning me based on a normal supply run and career moves. Nathan's hand was shaking, the controlled anger. In the doctor's voice was scarier than shouting. I just want to know what happened to my daughter. What happened to your daughter is a tragedy, but I've told the police everything I know. If you have new questions, maybe you should ask Detective Walsh instead of bothering me at my office. I'm not bothering, aren't you? Calling me after hours, questioning my work history, suggesting God knows what. I tried to help this morning out of respect for Meera, and this is how you thank me. The line went dead. Nathan sat staring at his phone, his heart pounding. The doctor's reaction had been so angry, so fast, it didn't feel right. He looked back at his laptop, at the trail of problems at 5 hospitals, at his notes about the oxygen tanks, at the police interview, where Dr. Kellner said he was home alone all night. He knew something was wrong. The question was, what was he going to do about it? Nathan paced his living room, thinking about whether to call Detective Walsh. The laptop was still open on the coffee table. He spent an hour doubting himself. Maybe the doctor's anger was fair. Maybe Nathan was just seeing things. His phone buzzed. A text from Nicole. Crazy busy. Might be later than I thought. Love you. He typed back, be safe. Love you too. As he walked to the kitchen, headlights lit up the front windows. A car was in their driveway. It was 7:48 p.m. They weren't expecting anyone. Through the peephole, he saw a familiar person. Dr. Kellner, still in his suit, looking messy and upset. He kept looking over his shoulder as he came up the steps. Nathan's heart beat faster. Why was he here? The doorbell rang. Nathan didn't move. Mr. Hartley, Dr. Kellner's voice came through the door. I know you're home. We need to talk about our phone call. Nathan stayed frozen. The way he said need to talk set off alarms in his head. Please, Mr. Hartley, I want to apologize. I was upset. Can we talk like adults? The calm words didn't match the tension in his voice. Nathan backed away from the door, grabbing his cell phone. I can see your shadow, Nathan, the use of his first name felt wrong. Open the door. We need to clear this up before you do something we'll both regret. Nathan's thumb was on Detective Walsh's number, but before he could call, he heard the click of the doorknob turning. He'd forgotten to lock it. The door opened, and Dr. Kellner stepped inside, closing it behind him. Up close, Nathan could see sweat on his forehead. His right hand was in his suit jacket pocket. I asked nicely, Kellner said calmly. But you weren't going to let me in. You need to leave, Nathan said, stepping back. This is breaking and entering. The door was unlocked. I'm just a concerned doctor checking on a parent. The doctor's eyes saw the laptop. Been doing more research, I see. Get out of my house. Can't do that. Dr. Kellner took his hand out of his pocket, showing a small black pistol. We're going to take a drive. You and I, Nathan's mouth went dry. You took her. You took Meera. Get in the car. The gun rose a little. You're going to walk to the door. Get in my car and do it quietly. If you shout or run, I'll have to hurt you. And then I'll wait for Nicole to come home. The threat against Nicole made Nathan's choice. Where are we going? Somewhere private. Now move. Nathan walked to the door. Outside, the neighborhood was quiet. Dr. Kellner's car was a normal silver Honda. Get in the passenger side, hands where I can see them. Nathan did as he was told, his mind racing. Seatbelt. Dr. Kellner ordered as he started the car, the gun on his lap, pointing at Nathan. They backed out of the driveway. You saw me at the pharmacy, Dr. Kellner said. That was careless. I was running low on supplies. Supplies for what? Nathan's heart jumped. Shut up. The doctor's calm act was breaking. You couldn't just leave it alone. The wheelchair should have been the end of it. But you had to dig. Where is Meera? You think you were a good father? Leaving a sick 3-year-old alone in that hospital. Is she alive? Stop talking. They were heading out of the city now. toward the countryside. Those hospital problems, Nathan said, needing to understand. They figured something out, didn't they? They suspected, could never prove anything. Always watching, making my work impossible. What work? Dr. Kellner's laugh was bitter. You wouldn't understand. They see a doctor being thorough and make it into something ugly. The words chilled Nathan. They turned off the main highway onto smaller roads. Nathan's phone was still in his pocket. Threw your phone out the window, Dr. Kellner said. Nathan turned his phone off and tossed it out. Good, we're almost there. Then you'll understand. Maybe you'll even see this is partly your fault. My fault. You left her alone. If you'd been there, none of this would have happened. They turned onto a dirt road. Ahead was the answer to 2 years of questions. Nathan prayed he would live to find it. She trusted me, Dr. Kellner said quietly. That's the sad part. She trusted me completely. The words sent ice through Nathan. The dirt road ended at a small cabin in the woods. Motion sensor lights turned on as they got closer. Out, Dr. Kellner ordered. He led Nathan inside. The cabin smelled of pine and disinfectant. There was medical equipment stacked along one wall. Upstairs, Dr. Kellner said. He led him to the last door in a hallway, unlocking several deadbolts. From the outside, the door opened to a small attic room. And there, sitting on a bed with an oxygen tube under her nose, was Meera. Nathan's knees almost gave way. His daughter was alive, but different. She was taller, thinner, her blonde hair longer. She wore a faded hospital gown that was too small for her now. And Fourport was in her arm. Meera. The word came out as a broken whisper. She looked up from a coloring book, her blue eyes showing no recognition, only confusion and fear. Dr. Martin? Who's that man? She called him Dr. Martin. It's okay, sweetheart, Dr. Kellner said in a gentle, fatherly voice. This is someone who wanted to meet you. Meera pulled back against the wall. I don't like visitors. You said they might try to take me away. You said they're bad people. Nathan started to move forward, but the gun in his ribs stopped him. That's my daughter. You sick? Your daughter? Dr. Kellner's voice got hard. You gave up that right when you left her. I gave her a home, kept her safe for 2 years while you moved on with your life. Nathan looked around the room. Medical gear filled one corner. Drawings covered the walls, all signed Meera. Pictures of a house, trees, birds, and a figure labeled Dr. Martin with a smiling face. No pictures of her parents. What did? You tell her. Nathan's voice was empty. The truth, in a way. That she was very sick and needed special care. That I'm the only one who understands her needs. You tricked her mind. I protected her. Dr. Kellner's calm was breaking. Do you know how delicate she is? You left her alone that night. The nurses were too busy, but I had time. I made time. His eyes got a faraway look. She was special, so trusting. The way she'd smile at me, the way he said it made Nathan's skin crawl. What did you do to her? I cared for her, fed her, gave her medicine, held her when she cried. She needed me. Meera. Nathan tried again, his voice gentle. Sweetheart, it's Daddy. Don't you remember me? The little girl looked at him. For a second, something changed in her eyes. Then she shook her head. My daddy went to heaven. Dr. Martin told me. He got sick and went to heaven with Mommy. The cruel lie hit Nathan hard. You told her we were dead. It was easier. Easier than what? Nathan was starting to understand the locks, the way she called him Dr. Martin, the anger when he was questioned. A sound from outside cut through the tense room. Its tires on gravel, getting closer. Multiple cars. Dr. Kellner looked out the window. His face turned white. How? You threw away your phone. Nathan felt a rush of hope. Nicole, she must have come home, seen something was wrong, and called the police. Meera, get in the closet, Dr. Kellner ordered, his calm gone. Remember what we practiced? Are the bad people here? Meera's voice was small and scared. She ran to a small closet. The way she did it showed she'd done it before. Outside, Nathan could hear car doors, radios, and a voice on a megaphone. Dr. Martin Kellner, this is the Pennsylvania State Police. We have the building surrounded. Come out with your hands up. You've ruined everything, Dr. Kellner said angrily to Nathan. She was happy. She was safe. Safe from what? From people who don't understand. The police said it again over the megaphone. Dr. Kellner walked back and forth in the room. 2 years of keeping her healthy, and you had to destroy it. Dr. Kellner, the megaphone said again, we know Nathan Hartley is inside. We know Meera is alive. Let's end this without anyone getting hurt. A small cry came from the closet. She won't live without me, Dr. Kellner said, but he sounded less sure. I know what she needs. She needs her parents. Her real parents. Real parents don't leave sick children alone. The gun dropped lower. An old phone on the dresser rang. Dr. Kellner gestured for Nathan to answer it on speaker. Hello, Mr. Hartley, a calm woman's voice said. This is Lieutenant Sarah Foster with the State Police. Are you hurt? No. We're both okay. Meera's here. She's alive. That's wonderful news. Can I speak with Dr. Kellner? The doctor leaned toward the phone. She won't understand. 2 years of trust. You'll destroy it. Doctor, we have special doctors for children waiting. They'll make sure Meera gets the best care. You've kept her alive. Help us keep taking care of her. Properly. His voice cracked. You have no idea what proper care is. The gun fell to the floor with a clatter. Dr. Kellner knelt by the closet. Meera, the people outside are going to take you to a new hospital. I don't want to go, her muffled voice said. I want to stay with you. I know, sweetheart, but sometimes things change. His voice broke. You're going to be okay. You're such a brave girl. He stood up with his hands in the air and walked to the door. He stopped and looked back at Nathan with pure hate. You have no idea what you've taken from her, from both of us. Then he was gone. Nathan heard heavy footsteps and shouting. Through the window, he saw Dr. Kellner on his knees with police all around him. Meera and Nathan went to the closet slowly. It's okay now. You can come out. The door opened a little. Blue Eye, full of tears, looked at him. Are you really my daddy? Dr. Martin said you went to heaven. Nathan knelt, and his own tears began to fall. I'm really your daddy. I've been looking for you for a very long time. But Dr. Martin said he's the only one who loves me right. That other people would hurt me. The words hurt Nathan badly. But she was alive. No one's going to hurt you, Nathan promised. We're going to take care of you. You're real mommy and daddy. Police officers came into the room. A female officer walked toward them slowly. Hi, Meera. I'm Officer Jamie. We're going to take you to see some nice doctors. Meera looked from Nathan to the officer, scared and confused. Is Dr. Martin coming too? Dr. Martin needs to go somewhere else right now, Officer Jamie said softly. As they led Meera out, she kept looking at the window, searching for the man who had kept her for 2 years. The man she still trusted. Whatever Dr. Kellner had done to earn that trust, Nathan was sure it was worse than just taking her. The truth would come out. But for now, his daughter was alive, and that had to be enough. The kids' hospital felt both the same and different to Nathan. The same clean smell, the same beeping machines. But now it was Meera in the bed. She was lightly asleep to help with her fear. Her small hand was in his. Nicole sat on the other side of the bed, her eyes red. She had called the police when she came home and found Nathan's laptop open to Dr. Kellner's work history and saw signs of a fight. Detective Walsh had acted quickly. A search of property records showed Dr. Kellner owned the cabin. Detective Walsh came in quietly. "How is she?" "She's stable," Nicole answered. "Her lungs have gotten worse. The doctor thinks it's because her treatment wasn't steady." "I have Dr. Kellner's confession," Detective Walsh said. "It's hard to hear." Nathan nodded. Dr. Kellner admitted to bad touching with Meera at the hospital 2 years ago. He slowly gained her trust and yours. He told her the touching was a special treatment to make her better. She was 3. She believed him. Nathan felt sick to his stomach. It went on for months. Detective Walsh continued. He said Meera was starting to ask questions, like why other doctors didn't do the same things. She wanted to tell her mommy about the games that felt weird. He panicked, so he took her, Nicole whispered. The night she disappeared, he used his keycard to get in a side door. He had broken the camera there weeks before. He gave Meera medicine to make her sleep and wheeled her right out. All those nights wondering, and the truth was worse than any nightmare. At the cabin, he kept up the bad touching. He told her that her parents had died, and he was the only one who could take care of her. The wheelchair, Nicole asked. Why throw it out now? His co-workers were getting suspicious about missing supplies. He'd been stealing medicine and equipment for 2 years to treat her. He knew it was time to run, but he couldn't take things that could be identified. He planned to move away with her. Detective Walsh said, because of his work history, we think there may have been other victims over the years. We'll be calling his old hospitals. What else did he say? Nicole asked. He admitted that at first, that first night, he planned to kill her. He was scared she would tell someone. But once he had her at the cabin, he couldn't do it. He kept her instead and continued the bad touching. Nathan's baby girl had been hours from death, saved only because her attacker was a coward. Will she remember the truth? Nathan asked. What he did. What we meant to her. The mind doctor says memories from age 3 are often broken but not gone. With help, she may get some memories of you back. The pain from the abuse will likely come up later. She'll need a lot of therapy. A nurse came in with medicine. Her care is not simple, but we have his medical records to work from. Nathan watched the medicine go into Meera's 4. His daughter was alive, but she had scars he couldn't see. He keeps telling the police that he loved her. Detective Walsh said as she left. He says you'll never understand the connection they shared. She shook her head, disgusted. What did he plan to do if he wasn't caught? Nicole asked. He was going to take her to another state with new names. He had fake papers ready. When she got older, he admitted he knew she'd either remember too much or get too old for him. He said when that time came, he'd handle it. We think that means he would have killed her. After the detective left, Nathan and Nicole sat in silence, watching their daughter breathe. Tomorrow would be the start of a long road of treatments and therapy, of helping Meera understand that the man she trusted had hurt her, and that her real parents had never stopped looking for her. She's alive, Nicole whispered at last. That's what we hold on to. She's alive, she's safe now, and we'll help her heal. Nathan nodded, a lump in his throat. His little girl had lived through 2 years of hell, but she was strong. They would make sure of it. The machines beeped, a steady sound marking each breath, each heartbeat. Proof of life. Proof that their daughter had survived. And proof that the monster who stole 2 years of her childhood would never touch her again.